Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another rhythmic, happening, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. I'm going to render the contents of this box transparent immediately. What action figures are contained within the box? Let's find out. Off the get-go, we have the one and only illustrious, renowned, revered Naruto Uzumaki. What do I detest about this figurine? What are my gripes appertaining to this figurine? Well, for starters, he lacks finger joint articulation, he lacks toe articulation, he lacks an ankle pivot, he lacks an ab crunch, he lacks a diaphragm joint, his head is not relegated to a disc joint, his knees and his elbows are not double jointed, so there are a plethora of issues associated with the figurine. He also lacks the ability to rotate his waist. What a shame, what a pity, what a missed opportunity. Nonetheless, his aesthetics, his deco, his hues, his shadings, his textures are high quality, in my opinion. Of course, your opinion may be disparate from mine. Perhaps you would deem this figurine to be shoddy. I wouldn't. I would deem him to be mediocre at best. He does emulate Naruto, appearance-wise. I just would have preferred if he had more points of articulation and if he were a bit taller. Alright. Who else do we have? Let's find out. But have I drawn the force? Let's see. We have a training dummy that ninjas can throw shuriken at, followed by Iruka Sensei, a chunin. I'm gratified that his fingers are I'm gratified that his fingers are semi-clenched together, rather than being fully open, or rather than being pointed in an awkward, uncanny, strange, unusual, abnormal position. I would have preferred if he had fisted hands, but the semi-clenched fingers are superior over pointed fingers or open hands, in my humble opinion. Again, this figurine has the same issues as the aforementioned Naruto figurine. What are the issues, you may ask? Well, just like the other figurine, he lacks a diaphragm joint, he lacks finger joint articulation, he lacks toe articulation, he lacks an ab crunch, he lacks an ankle pivot, he lacks double jointed knees and elbows, he cannot rotate his forearms, he cannot rotate his thighs or his calves. In stark contrast to the other figurine, he has a waist swivel, although it's only 180 degrees. Or what, 90 degrees? I guess it's 90 degrees. So here's Iruka Sensei. I love his aesthetics, I love his shadings, I love his textures. This hunk of plastic, this inanimate object, looks akin to Iruka Sensei from the Naruto anime. So they did a stupendous job emulating the appearance of Iruka Sensei amid sculpting this particular figurine. He's not marred with scratches or scuffs. He's in near mint and pristine condition. He's practically unscathed. He doesn't have any major dings or dents. Nothing really impairs his appearance or disconfigures his appearance or mucks up his appearance. Just scrutinize him for yourself. He doesn't have any major defects. I'm also content with this purchase since the figurines are in near mint condition. The condition of these figurines incentivized me to buy the lot. I would have forgone buying the lot if the figurines were in abysmal condition. I presume that they were formerly owned by an adult collector, so it's always ideal to have items derived from a collector rather than kids or teenagers who ravage their property at their own discretion. Next we have one of the swordsmen of the mist, Zabuza. What's his last name? Metamuchi? Who knows? I'd have to look it up. Now, I love this figurine's appearance. You can see the pegs, which is a bit of an issue. It's a bit of a nuisance. It agitates me a little bit. Am I infuriated? Am I imbued with rage? No, but I would have preferred if they were fully covered up with plastic skin, or plastic that looks like an epidermis. They could have been covered up with plastic fillings, or plastic that gives off the facade of appearing as skin. I love his weapon. I love his armament. It's massive. It's gigantic. It's enormous, just like it's supposed to be. Now, unfortunately his nose is a bit chipped. He has a scuff on his nose. I guess he could paint it over, but it does bother me. Possibly enough to maybe one day consider getting another one if I was opulent, affluent, and wealthy. But at the moment it's not affordable, so I'll have to forgo that opportunity and relish this Zabuza figurine. And who knows, maybe I could remedy the situation by painting over the chip with white paint. Is this figurine elusive? And if I believe he is, he's arduous to find for a low price. If you stumble upon him for under $20, then I recommend and advocate procuring Zabuza. Not a bad figurine, not an egregious or appalling or abhorrent or atrocious figurine. He truly embodies Zabuza. Does he look disparate from Zabuza? I don't think so. Of course, that's my own subjective opinion. I would have preferred if his abs and biceps could have been amplified to further accentuate his physical prowess. I don't want my figurines to look meek or timid. I want them to look hefty and bulky and mighty. I just would have preferred if he had more defined muscle tones and if he had bulkier muscles. But you may staunchly disagree with me. You may be content with what Mattel has churned out. Lastly, we have another item within the box. We have the stellar, divine, shrewd, astute, heroic, valiant, noble, stoic Rock Lee. Unfortunately, his joints are a bit loose. I love his attire. I love his cosmetics. I love his face. He does look akin to Rock Lee from the anime. He always gives off the facade of being solemn. Is he hot-headed? He seems more strategical in my opinion, but it's arduous for me to recollect whether or not he's hot-headed. I would make the arbitrary assumption that he is, but I haven't seen him in action in years, so my memory appertaining to the Naruto series is beginning to atrophy, is beginning to wither away, is beginning to diminish. What a shame, what a pity, but oh well. I love this character though. He could utilize a primary lotus. He's a pupil of Guy Sensei. These figurines have peg holes embedded in their feet. These are extraordinary figurines. So, this is roughly half of the lot. I've yet to unbox the remaining half. I procured these figurines over a year ago. I know I'm lagging behind in terms of creating new unboxing videos in a timely manner, but I didn't have the time in the past, so I need to seize the opportunities available to me right now. So I apologize about waiting over a year to unbox these figurines, but I'm finally gratified since I got the chance to do so. I love these figurines. I would have preferred they came bundled with more accessories. I would have preferred they had more points of articulation. I would have preferred they were a bit taller. They're roughly 45 inches tall, so they coincide eminently well with the 45-inch action figure collection. If you add them to your prodigious 67-inch action figure collection, then they may look short in stature, in stark contrast to your other figurines who tower over them. Are they dwarfed by other figurines? Perhaps. Mattel unequivocally deserves their accolades for churning out such robust figurines. I just would have preferred that they exuded more effort, but their goal is to maximize their profits, and unfortunately it comes at the direct expense of their consumers. If Playmates Toys took up their reins, is it pronounced took up the reins or took up the reins? Who knows? But Playmates Toys presided over the production of Naruto Shippuden or Naruto action figures, and they would likely be comprised of strings that hold their joints together, and they would likely be under 4 inches tall. So I prefer figurines turned out by Mattel over Playmates Toys. I believe that they supersede the Playmates Toys action figures. I'm bringing this up because the standards have plummeted in the action figure industry. This figure is comprised of string. It is inexcusable. It's repugnant, but it is what it is. I believe this took up the reins, so I guess I'm answering my own inquiry from earlier, but who knows. Playmates Toys, they did produce robust figurines amid the early 2000s, but they've desisted from churning out impeccable, stupendous, high-quality figurines. Their figurines are now relatively scrawny and short and lack articulation in so many areas. It's agitating or unacceptable. Well, I guess you could say unacceptable from the perspective of an animate action figure collector. Or let me revamp that. I guess you could say it's unacceptable from the perspective of an avid, devout action figure collector who's adamant about possessing stellar figurines derived from every franchise they love. So, let me just flaunt the figurines that I received in front of the camera one final time before they become decimated. I'll do my best to safeguard these figurines, but I cannot guarantee that they won't be vandalized. I hope that no one vandalizes my property, but when you live with hot-headed individuals who are aggressive, then you place your property in jeopardy of it getting vandalized, especially if people you live with have a propensity to vandalize your property. So it's out of my control what happens to them. I'll do my best to safeguard them, but if someone vandalizes them, it's out of my control. I hope that it doesn't happen, but I can't fully protect my property until I can afford to finance a mortgage for a one-bedroom condo. So I'm done ranting about the repercussions of not being able to protect your own property. Here are the figurines once again. I hope that their integrity is not compromised in the future. I hope that their appendages do not become severed. I hope that they remain intact. I hope that they remain cohesive. I hope that they do not become marred with scratches nor scuffs. So stay tuned for the second part of the unboxing, where I unbox the remainder of the figurines encompassed within the Naruto action figure lot. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Bye.